Thank you, Jana, and thank you, everyone. And it is very exciting to be here today, and it's really amazing to see so many people coming together to talk about forms. And I'm very happy to be talking about the who, or we often talk about the discovery phase, where we're really wanting to work out who are we focusing on, who are our customers and who are our end users, what are we trying to achieve, and the importance of engaging with our customers early. So through doing this, we can see that a problem well stated is a problem half solved. Okay, so a little bit quickly about the area I work in. So I work in the voice of the customer branch. So it's pretty important because we want our customers to be heard and to have a voice and to input and influence how we design forms for them. And we're in the Chief Citizen Experience Office. So we put people at the centre of everything that we do. And obviously it's an important thing because I notice we've got a very similar logo to Beta does up here. So it's really important that we are putting humans in the middle of what we try to do. Now, we've been working in behavioural economics in the department since around 2012, and we've been very lucky to work with Beta on a number of different trials that have really helped to inform government service delivery and how we design our forms and processes. Within the research practice, we also have a number of different research methodologies that we follow. So we have a behavioural economic trial team. We have user researchers, we have an ethnography team, so they go out and do deep dives, customer-led interviews over a long term where they actually experience with the customer through their eyes. We also focus on accessibility because that's very important, particularly when it comes to designing our online and digital forms as well. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a little bit shorter, but thank you, that helps. We always would like to trial. So ideally conduct a randomised controlled trial. Call out to bingo. But in an ideal world, that's not always possible. But what we can do is go and have a look at what is going on, what's really happening in the real world at this moment. So looking at the who, or discovering who our customers are, it's really important to define what it is that you're trying to do. Defining the outcome, what are you trying to achieve? And then looking at defining who are your customers. So that might sound like a really simple question and a really straightforward thing that you go, yeah, no, I know. It's the people that are going to be filling out the form. But is it always the customer that's filling out the form? Maybe there's someone else that's going to help them fill it out. Maybe they've got a nominee. Maybe it's like quite a complex form and they need help from someone else, or someone else actually needs to fill out part of the form for them. It's really important to understand the customer's experience through their eyes. So I'm going to really stress and try and show you why it's important to get out into the field. And it's already been touched on this morning. The curse of knowledge can really create a bias where we think this is really easy. People are going to get this. This is so straightforward. No one's going to get this wrong. But you actually get out and you look at how customers are filling out our forms, when and where, and also why can influence how they understand and how easy it really is. Through getting out into the field and looking through the customer's eyes, it helps us to identify those barriers. Otherwise, we're often designing based on assumptions. So we really want to know what really is going on out there. So I'm going to introduce you to one of our real customers who's given us permission to talk to you today about his experience. So Bill, he's retired. He helps out in the community. He used to be the main carer for his wife and recently she needed to enter aged care. He's actually relatively digitally savvy. He has a smartphone and a laptop, but he actually still prefers face-to-face services. Now, last year, Bill completed a previous version of our aged care assessment form. He did this for his wife. Now, recently, there's been some fantastic improvements and redesign of this form, and a lot of research has gone into doing that. So we went out and we tested one of the new forms with Bill. And now I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that technology's on my side.
I would say no.
So,
And then the second question, are you receiving a means-tested income support, HP? Yes.
yes.
Now, go down, it says, if you receive a means-tested payment from Centrelink or DVA, do not complete this form. Excellent. If they do that, I tell you what, people would be surprised, and they would probably say that Centrelink are nice people. Like, they wasted a lot of questions on property
Yeah.
in the old form.
Yeah.
Probably about, I'd say, 6 or 7 pages they would have wasted.
But
now,
comparing the experiences
yeah,
from when you had to fill out the form 12 months
I
ago
would
to
sooner have done it like
you
that.
prefer to do
Yeah.
it that way?
I would sooner have done it like that.
Yeah.
No, it was good. That was, I'm telling you, that was a lot simpler than filling out that 40-page form.
Yeah. It's an improvement then?
It is an improvement.
So as you can see, we know that often we want to capture as much information. We think that we need all of the information in the world to make a decision. It can be really hard for people to comprehend and understand how to get through that. And it's really lovely to hear from Bill how much easier by simplifying some of those processes. And like Simon mentioned as well, reducing some of the content and the number of pages, because just the number of pages can become overwhelming. You get a big pile of paper delivered to you and that's what you think you need to go through and get through all of that. Really, really challenging. Now, some of you have probably very well aware of the framework that BETA follows. So we've often referred to the 4 Ds. Now, you've heard me mention define, defining problems, defining what we're looking at, defining our processes as mentioned in the who in WISER as well. We've added an extra D at the front just to remind us all of how important it is to really focus on what are you trying to find out? What are you trying to achieve? What's the behaviour that we need to change? Or do we need to change behaviour? And when you're defining who your customers are staff involved in this? Who are the staff involved in this form and this process? How are staff interacting with our customers or with the form? You need to spend a lot of time looking at the define and the discovery. So looking at the data, what is the data telling us? And often, historically, we've spent a lot of time looking at data, talking potentially to the experts in the department. What do you know? What do you think should happen? But as you saw from Bill, it's also really important to know how are our customers experiencing this as well. I'm going to give you an example of a trial that we were asked to conduct in the department. So we were asked, could you conduct a trial to work out why aren't enough customers returning these rent forms? Why are people doing it late? Why are people waiting till their payments are impacted before they actually follow through and return these rent forms? So of course they've asked us to do a trial, so we've gone, yeah, great, we'll have a look at this for you. And we spent a lot of time looking at the forms and thinking, how are we going to fix this form? What can we do to this form to make it easier for people to return and to complete and to get right? When we went out into the field and we started to talk to customers and look at what is happening for the customer, we actually realised a lot of the customers didn't know that they needed to return a form. It turns out that they'd been sent a notification saying, you've got a message in your MyGov inbox. I can see a lot of nodding from people in the room. We know that's not necessarily a call to action for our customers. We know that that doesn't necessarily mean a lot to people. And to be honest, some people didn't even know they had a MyGov inbox or what a MyGov inbox was. So they didn't even know how to follow through with that action. So it turned out our trial didn't need to be around how do we redesign that form. we had to redefine our problem. We had to go back and look at, how do we actually get people to pay attention and know that they have a form to complete to start off with? So our trial actually turned out to be, is there another way that we can nudge our customers and inform them that they need to actually complete this form? Pun wasn't intended then, by the way, either. So we actually sent them a text message. We sent them an SMS so that they knew that the message was coming from Centrelink. We knew they needed to do something, and they knew by what date they needed to do it. So by actually making it clear that customers did have a form that they needed to fill out, that it was relevant to them, actually increased the reply of these forms by roughly a third. The importance of that example is you need to spend a lot of time looking at what is your problem, who's relevant to your problem, and then have you actually clarified what your problem is clearly to begin with. Now, I've called this slide Discovery Wins, because like I'm saying, we spend a lot of time in discovery. We always would like to trial, but we don't always get to trial. And those people in the room who are practicing behavioural economics know that that's always the gold standard. We really want to actually get, and we want to run a randomised controlled trial. But for many reasons, that doesn't always eventuate. But by spending time defining and discovering and working out who your customers are and what your problem is, you can still find out a lot and sometimes make some really beneficial improvements to both government service delivery as well as our customer experience. So sometimes we find out that it's not a behavioural barrier that's preventing things. It might be something to do with the process. It could be our system. It could be the language that's used. So I think there's going to be a common theme going out through today about making things easy and simplifying. And often in our best intentions, when us as the departmental experts think that we've got it right and it's really easy and clear, it often isn't. So I'm going to give you another example here. And this was to do with, why aren't customers coming in and attending these appointments? Now, I know that's not directly related to a form, but the majority of the time when people need to come in for an appointment or to have a phone appointment, it's because they've either handed in a form or they need to hand in a form. So we looked at why aren't these customers coming in? When we went out and spoke to customers, we found out a lot of them were telling us they didn't even know that they had an appointment. What appointment are you talking about? Or a lot of customers said, I didn't find out about that appointment till after it already had passed. And then again, a whole number of customers also told us, I didn't understand what the letter was telling me. I didn't know that I was going to have to answer a phone call and that was going to be my appointment. So through going out and listening to our customers and doing research in the field, and this research could be forums, it could be ethnography, it could be user testing. There's a whole number of ways that you can find out through the lens of the customer what's actually going on for them. So in this case, we actually had a system error where there was a little glitch in our system, and it meant that 30% of customers were actually not being sent the notification that they had an appointment. So we don't need to do a trial on that. We fix the system. Easy done. When a number of the customers told us that they got the letter late, we looked a bit deeper and we realised Australia Post might be a bit of a theme today as well, that when Australia Post changed their delivery system, a whole lot of customers stopped getting daily mail delivered. This impacted the timeframes between us sending a letter and the customers receiving it. So that was once again an easy fix. We didn't need to trial, we just needed to change the timeframes. We send the letters a bit sooner telling people that they've got an appointment. And as far as not understanding that they had a phone appointment or that they needed to answer a phone call from a private number, I don't know about you, I don't like telemarketers, and I won't answer a private call unless I know that I'm expecting one. So we actually changed the language and we told customers to expect a call from a private number. No need to trial, but through spending that time working out who are our customers and what is that process, we were able to quickly make some massive improvements, and there was a rapid increase in these customers actually attending their appointments. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to another customer. This is Amanda. So Amanda's married to Robert. She's well educated. She's digitally savvy. She used to run her own business. She has cerebral palsy, and she recently needed to claim for disability support payment. So Amanda has kindly shared her experience, and we've been tracking Amanda's journey with the department for over 12 months now. Amanda actually fed in to one of our project teams that was designing a new version of the disability claim form or the claim process. So within this, Amanda really highlighted some of those key barriers and key blockers within the form that was making it really hard for her. And this aligned with a whole lot of other research that we did with other customers as well. So some of the questions Amanda asked was, I don't understand, is this question actually for me? Because it sounds like it's talking about my husband Robert, but I think it's in the section that I need to fill out for myself. Another question was, this doesn't sound like it relates to me. I don't know how to answer this question, but this online form won't let me get to the next step unless I put an answer here. So the flow didn't work for Amanda. So once again, she'd stop filling out the form. She'd need to go away, make a phone call, work out how am I meant to fill this bit out, and go back and try again. The main thing that Amanda kept saying to us is, why is it so hard? Why can't you make it simple? Amanda's input into this project team was of extreme value, and I'm actually going to share another little video that I think will go the right way when we play, and this is from the project team.
Hi, Amanda. My name's Paul. This is Ben. We're just a small part of a large team that's working on delivering a brand new disability support online claim. Thanks for all of your help and feedback. We've heard what your message really loud, really clear. So we're working to simplify, simplify, simplify.
Amanda, as you can see, your experience and feedback is kept close with us, and we take you everywhere we go to keep it resonating with our team, with our colleagues. In the upcoming months, we'll have a simplified and cleaner disability support pension online claim available to all customers that will provide a simplified and more positive online user experience. So Amanda, thank you again for providing all of your feedback, your experience to us, the support you've given us so we can then transform the future of the disability support pension experience for all customers.
Thanks, Amanda.
Thanks, Amanda.
Observing our customers, listening to them, going through their experience with them, for our customers and for our staff, looking at really who are the people who are involved in filling out and completing our forms and how can we make it easier for them. Thank you very much.